Hello, this is David, and this is part two of the skills project for 2020. We're going to be setting up a terminal service web access. We'll be demonstrating how to use the terminal server web access page and have a remote app of adding Paint out there. But before we start, I'd like to, and it said using standard user accounts, and I want to show you what I did on the user account. I created an S1 user and an S2 user, which I'll log on server 1 here as S1 user, and here is S2 user. Uh, and then I created a group called S users, and right here's the group, security group. And I made S1 user and S2 a member of that group. So we can close this out, and we want to go to our Start Admin Tools Server Manager. And first thing we want to do is we want to add a row. And let me bring this up a little bit where I can see it. And next, and we want to click the terminal service row. And click next. Next, we're just going to do the terminal server right now. Row. And next, we're going to click the Do Not Require Network Level Authorization. And next, and we're going to do the Configure Later on the license. Okay, we got members set up here, so we want to add, and we want to add those S user group, which S1 user and S2 user is a member of. And I'm going to go ahead and add the students group, which student 1, student 2 is a member of. And we'll say next, and we'll say install. And this will take a few minutes. And once it's finished with the install, we'll have to shut down our computer and do a restart. It had actually finished the install, and I hit the close button. The server come up and said, "Do you want to restart now?" And I said, "Yes." We've already restarted, and when the server come back up, it come up in the resuming configuration. Then it showed the process and then results, and we go ahead and close this out. And our terminal service row has been added, so let's bring it up here because we're going to have to add some server row services. We'll be adding this TS. Let me close this out. This TS web gateway, so let's just go into that, add row services, and we want the TS web access, and we're going to add the row services. It'll come up and tell you that it has to add some of the IIS services, so we want to go ahead and add those rows. Get it up here and click next. And next, and just take the defaults on them, and then the install. And now we've got our web access service installed. We need to go to Start Admin Tools Terminal Server, Terminal Server Remote App Manager, and it'll bring up the Terminal Service Remote App Manager. Okay, it's brought it up there, and we want to go under the terminal server settings, and let's click change. Okay, and it'll bring up the settings, and right now we got require server authentication. We want to go ahead and show remote desktop, and we'll say OK. And then now we want to add a remote app to that program, which is the Paint, and it will bring up the wizard, and we'll click Next, and we'll click on the Paint and Next, and then Finish. Okay, we've got all that set up. Okay, we've got our remote app Paint added to it. Now I've logged on to server 2 as S2 user, and our terminal server and web access is running in server 1. So we want to open up an internet browser connection, and we want to bring up HTTP 2020 server 1 because that's where our terminal server web access is running from. .cosmos.com/ts, and it's giving us a prompt to log on, so we'll continue to log on here, and we want to use the same user, S2 user, and the password. Let's see, so backslash S2 user, and let's see what it brings up here, and it's brought our terminal server web access up, and right there is our remote desktop that we checked, and right here's the Paint, so let's double click on it, and we want to connect, and it's wanting our password again here, user, and we're using the S2 user and the password. Okay, it's finally brought our Paint up here, and we're running it off the web page. That concludes this part 2 tutorial. Thank you.